Right, Grace and I are going to co-host. So a bit like in doing this festival, I think the trustees have become very, very close and working together. I never thought I would meet someone in Nigeria. I never thought I would meet Grace, and almost like the first thing I do in the morning is check my phone to see what Grace has said has happened in the Ambassador Network. And the last thing at night, I'm usually talking to Yusuf and Grace around about planning the next day. So Grace is almost like my festival wife. So Grace, do you want to say hello and introduce yourself? And I hope your husband isn't listening.
He is. He's listening. Hi. Welcome, everybody. My name is Grace Johnson, and I'm from Lagos. I'm actually talking from Lagos, Nigeria, Africa.
Yeah. How did we meet?
Ooh. I sent in an application as a volunteer. Well, I got to know about Agile20Reflect while at a training, and then I applied, and the next day I got a response, and we met.
Yeah, it's amazing. It seems like a long, long time ago, and it was only the tail end of summer. We've done a lot in a short space of time.
Yeah.
Listen, whilst people are coming in, and I see we've got more and more people coming in all the time, I think we're at 188 people, which is quite amazing. And I guess people will be coming in and out all the time as lines drop and things. And we know there's quite a lot of things going on in the world just now. We know there's some protests in Russia, protests in Belarus. At times it's a noisy world. So we understand if your internet connection and things aren't working, and we are recording this, and we are streaming to Facebook, but we will also do it. So one thing I wanted to do, Grace, right, was get some VIPs in to kind of open the ceremony. Okay. So girls, you want to come in and say hello? So these are my children. Are your children there, Grace? Or did you get rid of them?
They're sleeping.
That's a good one. Right. So, girls, there was something you wanted to say. What was it?
Happy anniversary, Agile.
Now, can you do it in Spanish?
Feliz aniversario, Agilidad.
Yay! So welcome everybody, and it was nice to have the girls to open up the ceremony. We've got a slide deck, and what we're going to try and do is jump in and out of the slide deck, just occasionally, so you can see some kind of faces, but the slide material is quite interesting as well. And I'm going to open up the slides now. So first thing, welcome, and could you all take your mobile phones out or computers out and go into Twitter, and could you all say hi to the festival there, and perhaps say who you are and where you're at, and the hashtag for the festival is MyAgile20Reflect. Now, there's a few reasons we want to do that. And Grace and I were talking about it earlier. So people don't really know each other. So this is going to be a great way of seeing faces and seeing who's here. And as we go through the opening ceremony, the things you like and the things you don't like, and that you can also post. Yeah, because one of the things that we have used here a lot is WhatsApp. And WhatsApp's okay, but all I've got is a string of numbers on my phone. So at least with Twitter, we can see each other, we can chat, we can make new friends. One of the things we wanted to do with the festival was bring people together. So this communication part, this network part, this movement part is really important. Okay. Right, opening ceremony today is going to be quite simple. Grace and I are going to introduce the festival, what the festival's about, just I guess a little bit of context on why we're here, and also give an intention. So as people around the world do things, and work together and meet new people, we want to give an intention there. And there's a little Scottish story called First Footing there that we've got. Then we're going to hand over to the lovely Haroon. And Haroon is going to open up a Mentimeter. That Mentimeter is going to run for a week. And through that Mentimeter, we can, share information. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can do it as well, because again, we're keeping this open for a week. Then we're going to have Grace is going to take us through some dancing. and we're going to do the Jerusalema. I must admit, I've never heard of it. If you have heard of the Jerusalema, please, tweet on the hashtag. And if you know the Jerusalema, please tweet on the hashtag as well. If you've got a video of you doing the Jerusalema, definitely put it on the hashtag. Then we're going to hand over to the lovely Mimi. Again, meeting was part of the festival. I've met so many wonderful people, and Mimi is one of them. And without the festival, I wouldn't have kind of met Mimi. And I think that's nice because at this time of COVID and lockdown, when we're all at home and connection's hard, we talked about this kind of social distancing, and that's completely wrong. And what we've tried to do with the festival is get away from social distancing and get back into physical separation, but socially together. So the amount of new people around the world I've met with this festival is just really, really amazing. Then we're going to hand over to Padmini and Nana. Padmini's, again, I met through the festival. She does a lot of work in the kind of the women movement, and I'm a women ally. So when we first spoke, we actually loved what each other was trying to do, and we've really accelerated that through the festival. And Nana is just a force of nature. He's kind of moved from the UK back to Ghana. He's building a farm. He's running conferences in Africa. And he's got a real spirit, and he's got a real intention about where we need to get to. And they're going to be explaining about Ubuntu, which is a South American term that I first came to and learned with Bishop Tutu. I'm a great believer in his work and his laugh. Then we're going to show a video that we've got from South America, which is a lovely one. And then Jorge and I are going to have a conversation about South.
You go on mute.
Scott, you've muted yourself.
I haven't touched the screen. Okay. Hi, I'm back. Sorry. Okay. So South America, I'll have a word with Jorge, and we'll have a chat about that and find out about their success. And then we're going to have some wishes, and we've got wishes from the past, present, and future with Scott, Carla, and Cliff. Then we're going to thank the people who made the festival happen. This has been a huge, volunteer effort. That's going to be pretty amazing. And then we're going to talk a little bit about our patrons, and we've got an event tomorrow night. We're going to thank our donors because we've done all this on very little money, but we really thank our donors because they have helped us look at archiving and advertising and things. And then we're going to do the Jerusalem again, and then after that, Carl's going to get us out and talk us through what we've done. And as most of this opening ceremony is going to be listening, and what we wanted to do was give you a chance to meet and connect. So towards the end, we're going to play Celebrate by Kool and the Gang, one of my favorite songs. We're going to have a little dance and a boogie to that. And then after that, everyone who's still on the call, we're going to put into groups of 4 randomly, and you'll be able to meet someone who's on the call, and you can all talk about your wishes for the festival. And I think that's going to be pretty amazing. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so as we start, one of the reasons that, when we looked at this festival and getting it together, there was a couple of things. We wanted to almost like sample Agile just now and record it and have that available for research, because I know of many great Agilists who aren't here now and whose work I love. And one of those is Martin. So Martin and I used to run meetups, and Martin and I used to do lots of events, and Martin, if he was here today, would have actually loved and adored what we're trying to do, in this pulling everyone together across the world into very equal space. So what I'd like to do is, if anyone else has got anyone that a great Agilist who we've lost, who has had a contribution, if you want to unmute and just say a couple of words about them. So would anyone like to come in and remember us of any Agilists that are no longer with us, and whose work live on in us?
I'd like to shout out to Tamsin Mitchell as well, who's a fellow visual thinker
And one of the beauties, one of the things that she used to say is practice makes better. There's no thing such as perfect, just better. And she was very, very much a community-driven individual, and would be sadly missed.
Thank you, Stuart. Thank you. Would anyone else?
This is Yvette Francino. I want to recognize Jean Tabeka, who did a lot of work on collaboration. I became certified from her, and yeah, that broke my heart to lose that we lost her.
Yeah, Martin used to know her, and Martin, I think it was at Raleigh, and they got a lot of her books. And I remember being in the pub with Martin talking about Jean, and he just broke down crying, just remembering the wonderful woman she was, and the wonderful contribution. I have her book here, and I can recommend it to as many people as possible. That's beautiful. Thank you. Anyone else?
And this is. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Hi. I think that we should mention Mike Biddle. He's one of the co-authors of the manifesto.
Miguel. Yeah.
A couple of years ago, tragically, and also one of the creators of the movement of business agile, business agility. Oh my God.
Yeah, and the Latino that was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he was a beautiful man. I remember speaking to him the day before
he was
he passed.
A really, really nice guy. Really kind to talk to. It was really, I met him a couple of times, not much.
Hugs, Solly. Anyone else?
Yeah, this is Ken France. I wanted to mention David Hussman, who was the leader of Dev Jam, a company out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. He passed away a few years ago, and I'm lucky enough to work with a lot of the folks from Dev Jam currently over here at C Prime. So David was a great leader, and I didn't really know him that well personally, but I know a lot of the folks here still continue to model a lot of what they do after David. So David Hussman.
Yeah, these great people don't pass. They just, they stay with us. What I'd like to do is, if we could just take 10 seconds of silence, just to remember people that we've spoken about, or maybe there's some in our hearts that we haven't mentioned. Just 10 seconds. That's brilliant. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go onward. So many whys. I would just like to start this by thinking about why we wanted to do this. So I think the biggest things affecting the world just now have been the lockdowns, the COVID restrictions, and it's been really quite impactful in our industries. We've had, funnily enough, I saw Edinburgh yesterday from the top of a hill when I took the children out to exercise, and I was looking at Edinburgh, which is just about 20 miles away, and I thought, I haven't been to Edinburgh for 4 months. Can't believe I haven't been to Edinburgh for 4 months. I used to travel there every day. I used to work in the banks there, and it's just fascinating that the way work's changed. And then I always enjoyed conferences, and I always enjoyed getting into conferences and meeting people. And my favorite element of a conference was always the tea tent. So I would always hang out with the tea tent. I think that's where I met Ellen Grove and many of the other great speakers. Not actually by going to the talks, but just sitting, having a cup of tea, and asking who they were and how they are, and getting to know people. So I think one of my friends, Gary Fleming, calls that the corridor stream. Anyway, we don't get the corridor stream. We don't get the we haven't gotten the restaurants and the meeting each other. So back when Craig Coburn was remembering the 20th was coming up, and was telling me about how the BCS in Britain, the British Computer Society, had a 10-year celebration. I said, well, why don't we get a bigger celebration going, and why don't we try and do it wider, because February is going to be bleak, just with what we know about pandemics, and it'd be wonderful to get everyone together. And actually, I think I'll stop sharing so you can see me. yeah, it'd be wonderful to get everyone together, and this will help everyone. I predicted mental health would be really bad, and a lot of us would be suffering from grief and bereavement, and a lot of us would be suffering from just not getting together. So all of this became quite, you know, apparent. So I remember Craig and I. So Craig does lots of talks around the world, Craig Coburn, and Craig said, why don't we go to you know, the Agile Tour folks? And we did our first talk. Then our first talk, we pulled some slides together, and the slides were, why don't we have a 20th celebration, and why don't, and it had a few KPIs in it. So, you know, we wanted to make sure that we had lots of women there, and we wanted to make sure that we had you know, South America was represented, and we wanted to make sure that we just didn't dominate it from the Western world, and we wanted to, you know, involve Africa. And I was looking at that presentation. I think that video is still up online. I was looking at it, and we've actually achieved quite a few of the things that, you know, that we've done. And I didn't actually think that we would be able to do it. I thought it was a little bit of a pipe dream, to be honest, doing some of this stuff. So it's really exciting. So we're going to try a little bit of noise participation. So if you could unmute, right? I think you deserve a round of applause, everybody, for putting this together. So if you could unmute yourselves, and 3, 2, 1, just make a noise. Whoa!
Good morning.
Leave your microphones on, right? Because I'm gonna work out who's in the house, okay? Because one of the things we want to do is make this a marketplace where everyone comes together, okay? So in Agile, we often focus on the differences, but we want to make a space where everyone can come together. Okay, so have we got any women in the house? Any women shout? Have we got any Scrum people in the house? Any disciplined Agilists in the house? Any disciplined?
Yes, discipline.
Any clean language people? What would you like to happen?
It to be clean language.
Any visualize in the house? Please wave your hands.
Yahoo! Visualization.
Okay, let's try something different. Anyone from South America in the house?
Yay!
Anyone from Africa in the house?
Yay!
Yay! Anyone from Asia in the house? Asia? Anyone from Europe? Anyone up in the middle of the night from Australia?
Yes, I'm here.
Apologies, Australia. One of the things we've thought is if we do this again, we might make it like the Olympics and we can have regional hosts. Yeah. But we picked this time specifically so everyone from Kathmandu to Seattle would be up. So
we will be sleeping in Australia.
Yeah, but maybe you could host it next year.
Hopefully.
Okay, I'm going to go and put the slides back up. Let's have a look at the slides. And I'm going to hand...
You just got to mute. Scott.
Yeah, whenever
you're on mute.
Scott, you're on mute. Cool. There we go.
All right. Sorry, I've went too far. I often go too far.
You muted everybody, including yourself.
I didn't touch anything. I have got bodyguards. We have bodyguards. So I think it's the bodyguards that muted me. Right, Grace, can you talk to this, because a lot of this is your great work. I'd love you to talk about just I think we had a conversation when I was in the play park, and you said, how could you help? And I said, well, could you set up an international network of ambassadors?
Well,
so Grace,
welcome.
this is your slide.
Yeah, welcome again. We're celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Agile Manifesto. What you're seeing on your screen is actually the spread of events across the globe. It's really been a wonderful journey from the time we first appointed the first ambassador to now. It's really been being out of this world, and out of this world experience. Well, as you can see on the screen, we have 231 events from South America.
Woo!
That's the test. Woo! Woo!
Hola, amigos.
Hola.
Hey.
Well, yeah, thank you. Yohei is actually the regional ambassador for South America, and he was like the second ambassador we had appointed. He got to work immediately, and what you can see on your screen is a testament of the hard work from South America, the collaboration, the spirit of Agile, the excellence. They were quietly working. From time to time, we get to see them bring out promotional videos, beautiful videos, and boom, like the first week of January, we saw events like it was a hurricane. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful celebrating Agile. We have events from all over the world. We have from East Africa to North America to Asia to Russia to Kazakhstan. It's just beautiful. It's really beautiful. So we're really here to celebrate the uniqueness of Agile in each of these regions. You know, probably the way we adopt Agile in Europe might be different from the way we adopt it in Asia, probably due to culture and all of that. So the events from each of this region will speak to how Agile is done in this region. So we encourage you to join each of these events. They're beautiful. They're the handiwork of our ambassadors and their network and organizations and individuals and even the trustees and the hub team. While you attend these events, we also encourage you to be really respectful to each other. Respect has really been our hallmark. It's been what has gotten us through the challenges of preparing for this festival. Again, I would say welcome as we celebrate together and showcase the beauty of Agile from all over the world. Thank you.
I think that's absolutely amazing. So again, if you want to go into Twitter and hashtag your events and recommend the ones you want, part of the thinking behind this is the Edinburgh Festival. And the Edinburgh Festival happens in Edinburgh. I think it's the world's biggest festival. It's amazing to see all the South Americans that come over freezing, thinking that it should be summer here. And I remember when my Israeli friends came over to the festival, the first thing they said was, where can we buy winter jackets? And it's in the middle of summer, but that's Scotland for you. But in the festival, all the places like churches, church halls, offices, boardrooms, everything are taking over, and there's lots of cultural events everywhere. And in the fringe is it's huge. It's got lots and lots of events. And some events are big and some events are small, and they're all advertised in a common program. So we took that format forward for this. But one of the things in Edinburgh that's quite interesting is if you go through the streets of Edinburgh, you'll see people with flyers, and the flyers they'll come up to you and they'll say, go to this show. It's absolutely amazing. It's the best show ever. The speaker's great. Come to this time and come to this show, and it's absolutely amazing. And then when you get there, you find out it's the actual performer. And they actually went to the streets to advertise it. So I think, again, with this great festival, we'll be doing the same. So please use the hashtag. Please try and use it to raise awareness, not only to know who you are, but also to plug your events. And again, one of the things I want this entire event to be was looking back and looking at where we are now and looking forward. And that's a bit like Charles Dickens' Ghosts. Okay, so maybe Agile's a bit like Ebenezer at times. And we want to look back and celebrate all the good fun stuff and all the great people. And we want to look now at where Agile is, and we can see with all the events around the world, it's really gone global. And then we think about what Agile can be in the future, because it started in a software domain, and I think it's heading into people domain. And Padmini and Nana are going to talk more about that human to human domain. So we live in we live in exciting times. Here's Stuart, and Stuart's pretty amazing. And Stuart took our principles and put them into drawings, and they're on the website. And if I'd had a little bit more time today, I'd have went through it, but we don't. But one of the things we found was we had 7 principles, and this is the 8th. Okay, and we didn't know we had the 8th. And what the 8th is equality. Because if you actually go to the website and you look at events, and you go through the events, it's amazing, because what we've done is we've listed everyone the same. So there's no keynotes and there's no big room speakers. So you can go down there and you can have Mary Poppendick getting advertised exactly the same as someone in Africa who's doing his first talk about Agile. You can have people looking back, like Jim Highsmith at the beginning, all the way through to Cliff Berg and what he's doing about looking forward. Now, here's a statistic that you'll love, right? And I think you should tweet this one out. So a couple of quotes I'd like you to leave you with as we go into the next bit. The first one is, with almost 650 events, we've got more events than some conferences have audiences. Think about that. I think that's worth turning your microphone on and having a woo. So everyone, turn your microphone on. Let's have a woo. We've got more events than some audiences.
Absolutely. Hey.
All right, next, the next one. Let's say you go to 20 events over the entire month. That's almost one a day. Taking some time off for church or mosque or wherever it is, or temple or wherever you worship. So think about it. You do 20 events. That's only 3% of this festival. 3%, right? I think that's worth a cheer.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Yay!
Oh, we can do better than that. Come on, guys.
Hey.
Hello.
All right, so my phone is kind of making a noise. So it's either two things. Either you're doing lots and lots of tweeting, which I love, or Yusuf's telling me I'm taking too long and I need to speed up. So I'm not sure which. Anyway, that means that 97% of the festival you're not going to be able to get. And that's why it's really important for all of the event hosts to send us the links to your videos so that we can put the videos on YouTube, and to send us all our material. So we put packs out to all the events, and the packs stress a couple of things. Code of connection that Pamidi and Seth are going to talk about. That also gives the how to archive, because what we want to do is capture all of this stuff and have it recorded and have it available. So if you think about it, 97% of the festival will still be there for you. So you've got something to watch after you finish Netflix. I think that's amazing. Right, thank you very much. Okay, so just to end up, I want to tell a little bit of a personal story, and that story kind of relates to our Scottish family tradition. So we've got a Scottish family tradition of first footing. So what that's about is, in the year, it's very lucky. It's an old tradition. It's an old Celtic tradition that in the year, to start the new year, it's very lucky for someone to come into your house. And in the old Celtic days, this would have been done by someone taking fire to your house, and that got transferred to coal. So someone would come to your house with a bit of coal, and that would be good luck for the year. Now, in a big family like ours, I think my dad had 5 brothers. What would happen is at New Year, we'd have a party at the first house, usually my grandmother's. Okay, and okay, good writing. Party at my grandmother's, and then the next day we'd maybe go to my Uncle Peter's house, and the next day we'd go to Uncle Johnny's house, the next day we'd go to Auntie Bella's house, and the party would just keep moving on. And some years it would take like 7 days. Now, the great thing about that was when everyone went to each other's house, right, we said Happy New Year. Okay, and what I'd like to do with this, with the tradition here, is when we open an event, okay, use the standard slide pack that's been sent to all the attendees, but also say at the beginning, Happy 20th anniversary. So just now, could we unmute again, and could we all say Happy 20th anniversary to Agile? So I'll count you in. I'll give you a 3, 2, 1, and then we can all shout Happy 20th anniversary Agile. Okay. So 3, 2, 1. Happy 20th anniversary!
Anniversary,
Agile.
Happy
anniversary, Agile.
Happy anniversary, Agile.
Happy
anniversary, Agile.
Happy anniversary, Agile.
Happy 20th anniversary, Agile.
Love it. Right. Okay, I should have probably took the slide down for that. Sorry, I'm not getting the right mix. Yeah. So again, what I want us to do is think of our events as our own little party and everyone that comes to our events are our friends, and we are hosting them, and we have a lovely experience, and we're all respectful, and then we go to the next house, and every time we open the event, say happy anniversary in this place. I think it'd be a lovely tradition to have. Excellent. Right. Okay. And I've got the tyranny of the deck now where I can't remember what's next. So I'm going to hand over now to Haroon. And Haroon's going to take us through the Menti. I'm going to stop sharing. And Haroon, are you?
Yep, I've got it. Thank you. Thanks to you, Scott. Hello, everyone. Hello, I'm Haroon. I'm one of the volunteers in Agile20Reflect Festival, and it's been an absolute pleasure to work with some amazing people. So what I want you to do now is in the Zoom chat, so those of you who might be on your mobile phones or on your laptops or on your tablets, have a look at that. If you can't see it on your mobile phone, it will be in the chat group. And what I want you to do is open a new link. So keep your Zoom phones on and open an internet page somewhere, whether using Chrome or Safari or IE or any other browser. And I want you to click on www.menti.com. I'm just showing my screen so that you can see. And it's menti.com. And I want you to then punch in the code 5908186. So it's going to give you a prompt to say, please enter a digital code. And I want you to put in this 7-digit code, which is at the top of my screen, 5908186. And all I want you to do is the first page that you will land on will be this really, whoops, how do I get out of this one? For some reason, it's just kind of blocked on me. So I want you to, there's only about 4 or 5 questions on there. From which country are you from? And then there's a question about if you're a 5-year-old, what is Agile? And there's a question about the manifesto itself. About reflection of the festival and what excites you most. And there's also a question about what's your favorite quote for the festival. And we want to know how excited you are. We really want to know how excited you are. So please just take maybe 2 to 3 minutes to take your time and go through this Mentimeter survey. The good news is that the Mentimeter survey will be open until midnight Pacific time on Friday, the 5th of February. So you do have a few days if you needed some more time to answer some of those questions. But we will really, really appreciate if you can feed back to us about what you think about the festival, what you think about Agile, and more importantly, where are you from? You know, we want to know how diverse this amazing event is. Any questions, feel free to ask us as well. Over back, I think it's Grace next, isn't it? Is it Gracie next, Scott? I'll stop sharing as well on my side. There we go.
Okay, thank you, Haroon. Thank you. Oh, next, here is Mimi Manley Osei to introduce Sak and Padmini. Hi, Mimi.
Sorry, I couldn't find my unmute button. So now we have Padmini and Saf. They're going to be talking the policy. And they're going to be talking about the policy, the community policy and inclusion.
Yes,
Thank you. Feel very welcome.
Thank you, Mimi. Hello, everyone. As Mimi just mentioned, my name is Padmini Nidamolu. I'm from Washington, D.C. Just wanted to draw all of your attention to a few guidelines of this festival. And Grace mentioned respect as the foundational element of this festival. And as Scott mentioned, we are here to celebrate and have a safe and enjoyable experience. So we wanted to remind you all that this festival is dedicated to bringing people together from across the world to learn, to share with each other, so everyone can have an enjoyable experience. We invite everybody to be part of this celebration. Nobody's excluded, regardless of gender, age, disability, race, ethnicity, etc. And as you all know, this is a community event led by the community. So we expect the participants to adhere to community guidelines, which are set on the festival website. Please check them out. And this involves all forms and all forums associated with the festival, including talks, all the events, workshops, parties, Twitter, and every online media that you could imagine. And if there is something that does not align with your expectations, please bring it to us, and we are here to support you. And I do want to say we have zero tolerance policy for any kind of harassment on this forum. And if you see something, please say something. And in the spirit of community collaboration, we ask that you bring any conflicts or any unwanted situations to the organizers. And there is an email address here. You have your country ambassadors as well plugged in, and in a way that benefits the health of the community. So, and I wanted to give a huge shout out to our fantastic reviewers who helped put this together for us. So shout out to Donna Jones, Mia Kumolden, Uta Kaap, Jorge Luis Castros, Satpal Singh, and myself, Padmini Nidamolu. Thank you so much, guys. And Sat will walk us through the details of who you can reach out and the logistics of your own awareness in case of any unwanted incidents. Over to you.
It's Scott here. I've just noticed that when we made the slide up today, we were a bit hurried and it was in the dress rehearsals, and it's actually Agile20Reflect.org and not .com. I'll get it changed for the slide, and we'll put something up on the video. But yeah, if there is anything, it's .org. Sorry about that.
Thank you for that.
Thanks, Scott. Yep, no, I was going to say that, but no, thanks, Scott. Thanks, Padmini. Just quickly, folks, hi, I'm Sath. I'm one of the trustees of the festival. I'm based in Scotland. So just very quickly, just to build on what Padmini said, this is a global community. You've all played your part in helping build this festival, and we're delighted to kick it off today. It's a wonderful start, and it has all been built on goodwill and respect, and we have seen the best in humanity. And what we would like to see is that continue throughout the program across February. Now, what we're hoping for is that the community policy is actually something that we've all signed up to. We're all adhering to this policy. And as we start the program and the events kick off, we would like all of the event organizers to make sure at the start of the event that they reiterate that. And that's very important. So everyone who's involved and is participating in the festival is adhering to our community policy. So we expect that to be mentioned at all of the events at the commence of the event. And now, as Padmini says, there's a lot of great stuff happening here. But what if something goes wrong? What if you see something which you deem to be against our policy and a breach of that policy? Well, what we would hope is that you'd be able to resolve that locally in the first instance. So speak to the organizers of the event, reach out, have a conversation. If you can't get resolution there, we would like you to liaise with your ambassadors. So we have built this amazing global ambassador community, use your local support. If you're not able to get the resolve within that group of people, then you have the opportunity to raise it with the central team. And as Scott mentioned there, we have an address that you can use to email us, and we will then get involved and help you support and get resolution to whatever the issue may happen to be. And ultimately, we're looking for everyone to demonstrate good behaviors. We want everyone to have a wonderful experience, and we are all here to support one another. And I think that's me. Thank you, Padmini. Scott.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Sath and Padmini. And I know you put a lot of work into this. I love the work that that committee put together. And again, it's not even as if the code of kind of conduct and you know, and this all being, you know, our better angels has been like at the heart of us. It's actually even before we put it into our DNA. So right from the beginning, even before we've opened the doors, that's really important. It's just such an important thing for us. Okay, so moving on. What we'd like to do now is we'd like to, again, everything we do is about invite. So everyone's got the right to pass. And I think anything we do anywhere is always good to have a right to pass. But at this point, we thought it would be good to loosen up. Sun's setting here in Scotland. I've been sitting in the chair all day, so it's nice to get a little bit of relaxation. So we're going to go and do a little bit of energizing. And Grace I'm going to hand over to Grace, and Grace is going to tell us a little bit about the Jerusalem. I'd never heard of it, but apparently it's the new sensation. So yeah, I'm going to hand you over to Grace, and Grace will take it away, and I'm going to go and cue the music. Okay.
Oh, well, thank you, Scott. At this point, we really want to energize a bit, just move our bodies and loosen up, lighten up. Well, Jerusalem actually is a song that had gone viral. It's done by two artists from South Africa, and we've had a couple of dances from all over the world. So today, we want you to join us to create this beautiful experience of doing our own Jerusalem dance. And Scott will be playing the music.
Right. You
while
ready?
We rise.
Are you ready for Thank you very much, Grace. And Mimi, sorry, before this is the part that that you were kind of primed to introduce. So over to you, Mimi.
Hi guys, I'm Mimi Mandiose. I'm an Agile lead, and I'm also the ambassador for England and the archiving lead as well for the festival. I'm so excited to be here. So right now, I'd like to invite everyone to turn off the cameras so that we can turn our focus to the speakers. The first speaker that we have today is Padmini Nidumolu. She's a thought leader and a speaker, and she's also creating seats at the Agile table for women like me. The second speaker we have is also Nana Bambara Aban. He's the CEO of Acadity in Accra, Ghana, and that organization is one of the organizations leading the way to Agile in Africa. He's also an enterprise agility coach and a trainer. Let's make them feel very welcome. They're going to be talking about Ubuntu, and that is all about linking hearts and minds to build community. Thank you very much.
You know, we're all reading your poster stickers.
It's all Agile based. It's really sad. Nothing interesting going on here.
The basics are good. The basics are good.
Thank you so much, Mimi. And Nana, I can't see you on the video. I'm trying to search for you. But, all right. So hello, everyone. It is fantastic to be part of this festival. And we wanted to talk about Ubuntu, which is extremely important and impactful at the junction where we are. And we will talk about the spirit of Ubuntu and what it means in the context of where we are. So as we go through, a few decks we have put together, very simple flow, just kind of put us all in the context of our conversation here. Nana, do you want to add anything before we get started?
I'd just like to say it's great to be here. And I'm really excited about this festival. I'm excited about the organizers. I'm more excited about the participants. It just gives me great joy. I can see so many people's names that I recognize from around the world. And so I'm excited. So really, really pleased to be here. And again, it's not, this is not Wakanda forever. This is Ubuntu forever.
I love that. I love that. Awesome. So can we switch to the slide flow? Yes, here it is.
Great.
And Ubuntu, right? Nana, it is about I am who I am because of who we all are. I think that's the pivot. That's the mindset, which holds our future very strongly together.
Yes, correct, correct. In Africa, many villages and many tribes across the continent, we have a proverb or a parable, a way of describing the principle of care, of Ubuntu. And we say it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise a child. So that's a principle that we tend to work with on the ground. In many villages, people show the principle of care as we come together to celebrate life and to celebrate community. So it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a community to make a movement.
Absolutely. Yeah, so let's move on. I think, Nana, you wanted to talk about our desire, and it's time to celebrate.
Yes. Our desire, we want a world where our collective spirit is constantly expressing itself through our human-to-human connections, a way of life that sustains and celebrates Ubuntu. We want, this is our desire. This is both our desire, but also something that we want to celebrate as a community, as a group of people, as a movement, as a network, like Scott said earlier, a network. You know, we want to live in this world where we can celebrate our human-to-human connection. And what we call H2H is, we say it's no longer B2C, B2B or B2C or B2G or B2E, you know, it's no longer about all of these different business models. No, it's always been about people. It's always been a human-to-human connection. And so for us, that collective spirit is what we're talking about here today, that we want to make sure that as we come together, let's remember the essence of who we are, our humanity.
Yes.
And so we want to call on all our brothers and sisters around the world, you know, globally, South America, North America, Canada, you know, Pacific, Far East, Europe, Africa, Caribbean. We want to call on all our brothers and sisters around the world, regardless of the languages we speak and the challenges that we face, we have one humanity. So, Padmini, you're going to take us through this?
Yes, thanks, Nana, and that was powerful, right? It's one humanity. And just want to take you all back to the space where Agile Manifesto was co-created by 17 men with a vision for customer-centric software delivery, right? It was best intended to kind of get that high-quality product out of the door. And if we were to reimagine the future of Agile with a vision of co-creation by both men and women and all aspects of your organization and the community, and if you look at the success of the future organizations will not depend on adopting Agile or Agile mindset alone, but it's about adopting a mindset that challenges the boundaries and structural barriers that limit the underrepresented groups like women and others, and bring out their best. And by being anti-patriarchal, and most importantly, be of service to the community, to our community. So this incredible festival that we are all part of, through several events, we have about 650 events, as Scott was mentioning. These are all lined up across the globe to offer the much needed opportunity for all of us to reflect on how far we have come in this journey. It's incredible, isn't it? And so now is the time to reimagine the future of Agile and take a deeper look at how we are meeting diversity, inclusion, equity than ever before in everything we do, right from laying the pathways and the foundations to a brighter future of Agile and to build inclusive organizations all across. And what is ahead of us is really a set of infinite possibilities for equitable practices, inclusive culture, and systems that are co-created by a diverse and inclusive group of passionate Agilists. That's the future we are looking at. And Indra Nooyi, my role model, says, help others rise. And greatness doesn't come alone from your position or from being in the position of power, but it lies in pulling others up. And we all have an obligation to do so. And every drop counts. Each one of us have that obligation and responsibility to pull the others up so there can be a quantum leap in our journey towards a future where people can reach their best potential. And that's how great teams and organizations are built. I hope you all agree with me. So this takes us to the next thought that made this all possible. Scott, if you can lead us to the next in the line here. So I wanted to mention about what started off as a very simple dream and a very small thought for me evolved into co-founding an organization called Lean and Agile, which is a nonprofit community organization by the community for the community. This is to raise the floor and offer the platform for women in Agile to connect, to create, to collaborate. And I still remember the day that Scott and I were having a casual conversation about the festival, and I said, we need a psychologically safe space for women to come together, freely express and share their challenges and brainstorm what might work for them. And he jumped on it right away because I think it resonated with him, the idea of a dream he had to pull the Agile community together, and we're all here to reflect and create a great future. And he gracefully invited the idea and said, come on in, right? Let's enable those conversations to enable, these great festival and events. So now Lean and Agile has about 6 Lean and Agile events across time zones. We are following the sun as part of the festival. And I think if I can enable the change, each of you can, each of us can. And I wanted to wrap my thoughts with a call to a very crisp, specific action to bring the spirit of Ubuntu in everything you do, which is on because of who we all are. My call to action would be recognize the unconscious bias that exists in all of us. And there is a reason why it's called unconscious. It takes effort to be humble and to address the biases. So observe your actions in relationship with your words. Train yourself to observe where you're drifting, and also constantly gauge yourself. Was there compassion and empathy in my actions? Because you all agree, compassion is the interconnectivity of all beings between all of us. So I think the question we all need to ask ourselves is, do I do what I say I do, or think I do what I say? Because at the end, I am, because we are all here together. So just want to wrap that up with that thought and call to action. This will be a great collaborative event, and looking forward to all the 650 events to make this a possibility. Nana.
Ubuntu forever.
Yes.
Ubuntu forever.
Right, everyone, turn your microphones on. Everyone, Ubuntu forever.
Ubuntu forever.
Ubuntu forever.
Right, Nana, take it home.
Scott,
Nana,
on mute.
Nana, take us home now. Ubuntu forever.
I think you're on mute, Nana. You need to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm back. What is the need of the hour, brothers and sisters? So, this is a time for us to reflect, to reset, to pause, and to take a moment to look at what makes us great, our H2H, our shared humanity, this human-to-human connection that we're talking about. We want to go back to what makes us human. And this is what we really want to communicate today, that brothers in South America and sisters, brothers and sisters all over the world, in North America, Pacific, Asia, Far East, Europe, across Africa, the Caribbean, we want to say to all of us, Ubuntu forever. Because you are, I am. And because I am, you are. One of our greatest writers from Africa, Dr. Chinua Achebe, Professor Emeritus, in his book, Things Fall Apart, he writes, things fall apart, the center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loose upon the world. And we feel very strongly that the reason why things kind of fell apart some 2 decades ago and 10, let's say 10 years, and over the last few years, we've had many difficulties and challenges in the global Agile community, is simply because the center could not hold. Why? Because Ubuntu was missing. The spirit was missing. And we got caught up in many methods and certifications and many other arguments and debates. And we lost sight of something very special. Perhaps we didn't have a way to describe this thing, but now we have a way to describe it. It's called Ubuntu. It's called H2H. It's called care. It's called love. So let's use this moment, everyone, to celebrate. Let's make some noise. Let's celebrate. And let's keep saying to each other, Ubuntu forever. This is the need of the hour. Hey, who's that? Hey.
Scott.
So,
Whoa.
please join me. Join me and say, Ubuntu forever.
Ubuntu forever.
Ubuntu forever.
Forever. Oh, I love that. People at the heart of Agile. That was beautiful, guys. I loved, absolutely adored it. Absolutely adored it.
The global Agile movement is deeply rooted now in the principle, in the belief of Ubuntu, because Ubuntu is what brings together. Everything else is what separates us. And so we want to keep coming, and I want to keep encouraging. So use this moment. I think the host muted everyone, so muted me as well. So greetings, everyone. And again, I just want to leave you with something very special. Scott, can I do something a little bit disruptive?
That's why I booked you.
Okay, guys. So I just want to say to you that this is how much this festival means to me. And my family is really upset with me, but they're happy for me as well. And I got people who are really worried about me. And although now I've been, giving the all clear, but I'm actually speaking to you from my hospital room.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yes, many people don't know that I'm actually speaking to you guys from my hospital room. And by the way, I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer, organic, organic farmer. I'm into medicine, traditional healing and traditional medicine. So, we have organic farms and we're doing healing and retreats and healing villages. And so I'm actually speaking to you guys. This is how much this means to me. I haven't taken any business meetings. I'm not allowed to even answer my phone. And so I'm actually doing this from my hospital room. And I just want to say that I'm incredibly excited. And I want to thank Yusuf, Scott, everyone else who's organized this wonderful event and festival, to say thank you for giving Africa a voice. I've always felt that Africa has a voice in the global Agile community, and people like Giles and many others that I've met through Surrounding London and Agile in Africa. I've just been so excited that for the first time, Africa has been given a voice to be able to speak to the world, to say, Africa, we have something here. We have people here. We have a voice, and we really want you to hear our voice. We have experiences in Africa, how we do Agile, or how we be Agile, how we practice Scrum or Kanban, and all the other wonderful practices. For us, it's less about those things. For us, it's more about our humanity. It's about who we are. It's about who you are. And it's about how we can come together. So as you can see, I'm plugged in. I just came off my drips to make this presentation and to be able to celebrate with all of us. And so thank you very much, Scott, and thank all of you. I really want to say thank you. I'm really high on energy that you guys have given me today. And I just want to say that I really love you all. I love you all. And I'm looking forward to making more disruptive statements and comments. And my last disruptive one, I've been saying for so many years that it's about time we upgraded the Agile Manifesto, and we need to add something to the 12 principles. We need to add something to the 12 principles, and that's the principle of care. The 13th principle, which I'm really, 13 is supposed to be some bad luck number. No, it's not. It's a good luck number. And so for me, the principle of care is the 13th principle that I want to introduce. I've been talking about it a lot. Without care, all the other 12 principles are redundant. And you can ask me this question later, because I'll tell you, if you care about something, then you do something about it. You pay attention. You show love without race or color or gender or disability. You will not care about or money or whatever. The principle of care is what transforms the world. make the world a better place.
Nana, when
Yes.
you're better, let's you and I do a talk about this in the festival, a whole talk around about the principle.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that would be a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Ubuntu forever.
The most important part of care is self-care. So please look after yourself. Put that drip back in.
You guys are giving me energy right now, so I'm feeling your vibes. I'm feeling your energy.
Excellent.
So thanks, everyone. Padmini?
Yes. Thank you. I just wanted to
Great
say
stuff,
just one last thing to wrap up, Scott, which is, in the Hindu philosophy, Ubuntu is represented as Vasudaika Kutumbam, which means the world is one family.
Ah,
So
beautiful.
Manifested in different cultures and different philosophies and religions in different way. But on that note, back to you, Scott.
Excellent. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little bit of a break because we've been sitting for a while, and we're going to play some music. We're going to play the music that we did earlier, which was we're going to play some music from South America, and then after that's finished, which is about 10 minutes, we'll have a little chat with Jorge. I think Youssef in the background, who's producing this, is saying we're over time and we're running. My phone's like constantly going off, but that was beautiful, Nana. Take some care, and I'm going to swap over now and share my screen, and we're going to share some music.
Wonderful.
And Youssef, are you okay? How are we doing for time, Youssef?
We're way over. If possible, could we just make the break 3 minutes? Would that be okay?
I need to go in toilet, so if you want to introduce, yeah, I'll put the video on. We can kill it anytime you want, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And Nana needs to put his drips back in.
No audio.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Brilliant. In case you're wondering why the Agile Alliance comes up, I'm not advertising them. It's just that we borrowed their big Zoom room. So they had a big Zoom room of 500, and we'll get to it a little bit later. And I think we've only probably spent about £1,000 on the entire festival. So we've been begging and borrowing things, and the Agile Alliance and Ellen were graceful enough to kind of pass that over. Can I ask Jorge to come up, and I'd like to ask a few questions around about South America. That video we have a longer video with all of the countries in South America, and it's available on the website, and we'll be sending that out in a link. Jorge, how are you doing?
I'm great. You?
It's good to see you.
Happy, very happy to be here. Very excited. I don't know. I think that it's been an amazing opening ceremony. So congratulations.
Yeah, but one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was remember when we first met?
Yeah.
And we were talking about everything, and it was very early, and nothing was organized. What's the kind of things that we spoke about? What did I say to you to think about?
I think that one of the first conversation was about it is an inclusive event and self-organization. I think that there are two initial messages that we try to incorporate in our work. So I think that they are two very important aspects.
Yeah, and the other thing which I've seen is teamwork. So you've got an amazing team. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your team?
Yeah, absolutely. First, I want to congratulate because of this initiative. I think that it's a great contribution to the society, and we will obtain many learnings probably, and not only from agility, but also to be better people. That I think that is one of the main goals of this event, and make new friends. I think the conferences are, quote, an excuse to share knowledge, to learn new practices, and most important, meet new people. And at least I think that it has been very exciting, not just from South America, from all the world. At least in my experience, it's the first time that I have the opportunity to talk with people from Africa, from Europe, from other countries from South or Central America, etc. And regarding to the ambassador team, actually, I think that the country ambassadors are the true leaders and responsible to make this event a reality in South America. And I would like to take this minute to thanks to them, but especially to the first guy who joined to the team, to the first ambassador, who was Alexis Hidalgo from Chile.
Amazing guy.
He has had a special effort, and he's the main responsible to help to invite to the rest of the ambassador, maintain energy, enthusiasm, effort, and commitment. So I think that he has been a key person to the success of all the work that we have done in South America. And obviously also thanks to Sandra from Ecuador, Alexandra from Peru, Pedro from Bolivia, Carlos from Colombia, Carla from Brazil, and Amanda from Paraguay, because they have been the most important team. That they are weekly. We have weekly meetings to organize, to share good practices, to support between each other. So I think that they are the starring in our case of all of this work.
I've got two more questions, and I know Yusef's texting me to say we need to speed up. First question.
Yeah.
Tell me about Grace.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think that there are three people that they have been also key persons to our work. You, obviously, because I think that you have a leadership style very inclusive, very open mind for all the ideas, and to push people to take action of the things. Grace and Carl, I think that without their help, probably we will done just half of all the things that we have achieved until now.
Okay, Grace, tell me about Jorge.
Jorge is we chat all the time. Jorge is really fast to respond. He actually talked about Alexis. I spot Alexis. He's really phenomenal. I see the website hosting the South American page as well. I think it's from Chile. That's a testament to what Alexis can do. I think the team, you see their post, the structure of their post on LinkedIn, their promotionals, their YouTube videos are back to back. It's always phenomenal, excellent, and they're a team. And I think we really need to have a session where we sit and learn from them. Listen to them, listen to their secret, really learn from them. It's really been beautiful what has happened in South America.
Yeah,
thank you, thank you to the team.
Let's give them a cheer. Yeah, let's give them all a cheer. So everyone unmute again, and then the host can mute us all again, but unmute, and we'll give Jorge and the South Americans a cheer. No, bueno.
Bueno.
Excellent. Okay. I'm going to get the slides up again. Excellent. Okay.
You're on mute, Scott.
We'll get this right for next year. We will be Zoom experts by then. Here we go. Right, opening slides. And we are back with Grace. Grace, you're getting ready for the wishes.
Yes. Thank you, Scott. It's time for our 3 wishes. And you all know, in case you don't know, the theme of the festival is around the past, present, and the future. The past and the Agile community, the present and the Agile community, the present Agile community, and the future possibilities of the Agile community. And so at this point, we have 3 wishes from 3 wonderful people. The first wish is from the past. And who better to give us a wish from the past than somebody that was there right from the beginning. The beginning conversations with Scott, with Craig, and the others. He's none other person than Scott Ambler. Scott is the chief scientist. Yeah. Woo! Cheers for Scott.
Thank you.
Woo! Yeah.
I'm just the other Scott. This is the real Scott.
Yes,
this
he's the real Scott. Yeah, Scott Ambler has really done great for us. He's at some point, Scott Seivwright, the founder, contacted him, and they had a chat around bringing PMI and the PMI local chapters on board to do events around Agile, and Scott got to work immediately. I mean, Scott Ambler got to work immediately. In less than an hour, because we were chatting, and then in less than an hour, he did a post on the Disciplined Agile blog, giving, step-by-step how local chapters could be involved in the festival. And he sent out emails, and boom, we had events coming in from local PMI chapters from around the world. It's really been phenomenal what he has done. It's a testament to who he is. He's the chief scientist, as I said again, he's the chief scientist and vice president of Disciplined Agile. He's an author. He's done many books. So welcome Scott Ambler to give us the first wish from the past. Thank you. Scott, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you very much for inviting me. Yes, so the wish from the past, I guess I'm the ghost of Agile past. Ooh. But anyways, the wish from the past is to take, I wish that you will take time to reflect on what has happened before us and what has happened in the past within the Agile community, within the Lean community, and even within traditional. The traditional folks have done some really good things if you you take the time to do a little bit of research, do a little bit of reading. And the point that I want to leave everybody with is that the challenges that you face today have been more than likely been solved by other people in similar situations to your own. So you can get a leg up and actually, if you choose to, perhaps, learn from the past and to choose to leverage these learnings, then you will be much better off than going through all the hard work of having to figure it out yourself. So a little bit of humility and a little bit of learning goes a long way. So please take time to reflect and to do a little bit of research.
Whoa! Thank you, Scott. Everyone.
Thank you, Scott.
Yay, Scott Ambler.
Yeah, we should be that. We should really be in a big room next time we do this. Zoom feedback's terrible.
Okay, thank you, Scott. For our second wish is a wish for the present. And to take this is Carla Krieger. She's from Brazil. She's an Agile20Reflect ambassador for Brazil. Carla is an Agile coach, and she's really passionate about Agile and digital transformations, all sorts of transformations from digital to enterprise to cultural transformation. So Carla is here to give us a wish for the present. So Carla, let's have you.
Okay, thanks, Grace. Grace, Scott, and Carl will rock at leading this amazing festival. And instead of talking about my personal wishes, I ask permission to share with you those of the Brazilian volunteer team. Marcelo Antonelli, Henrique Mariano, Jailton Jr., who have been working in collaboration with our speakers in the spirit of Ubuntu, supporting the historical moment. So we wish for the present that everyone have fun, that we be human with our success and failures, that we work more and better in a collaborative way, enjoying all the diversity that this festival offers us. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you all. Gracias. Obrigado. Thank you, Grace.
Wow.
Obrigado, Carla.
Obrigado.
Congrats,
Wow.
Carla. Brazil and all Latin America movement. Good energy. Ubuntu forever.
Yes, forever.
Ubuntu forever.
I always think Brazil is the missing part of Africa if you put them together.
Well, you do know that there's 60 million Africans in Brazil.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
So
Yeah. Thank
fun
you.
fact, Carla is a really good shooter. She was in the army and she can.
Yeah.
So any problem?
Yes, I'm really good.
Carla on your team.
Take care. No.
Thank you, Carla. That was powerful. Humanity. She talked about being human, relax, and enjoy the festival. Thank you, Carla. And who else to give us a third wish for the future? He's an author as well. He's someone that has always advocated for updating the Agile Manifesto, and we think he is the best person to talk about, to give a wish for the future. So join me in welcoming Cliff Berg to give us a wish for the future. Cliff, let's have you.
Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Carla. I thought the futuristic background would be appropriate. I've been around in the Agile community for a long time, and I just wanted to say, kind of give us a shout out to Scott, because in the very early days, and I mean Scott Ambler as well as Scott Seivwright, in the early days of Agile, I was CTO of an organization, and it fell to me to make sure that what we built and delivered really worked. And I reached out to Scott Ambler because I found that a lot of his writing was very grounded. And he was also worried about innovation, but also making sure that things worked. And I think that a lot of his ideas from then have stood the test of time. So I see Scott Ambler as not only the past, but also the future, because a lot of his ideas have actually found their way into Agile 2, which we would like to present as some ideas to consider for the future. In terms of what I wish for this festival, in the third theme of this event, Lisa Cooney is going to give a talk about Agile 2 and why we think those ideas are important. And our belief is that Agile 2 is important for the future of Agile. And in fact, when we launched Agile 2, part of the reason why we put Agile 2 together after the pandemic started was because there were some signs that there was a lot of fragmentation of the Agile community and these frameworks, and it seemed to be a lot of tribalism and competition. And it seems that some ideas had split, like the DevOps community had split from the Agile community, which to me is completely bizarre. To me, they should be part of the same thing. And so we were worried. We were worried that that Agile might actually become displaced by DevOps, because what happens is organizations create teams and they have to decide, what is the composition of those teams, and do those teams need leadership in some way? And they usually put Scrum Masters in the role of a facilitative leadership for teams. But it's becoming increasingly clear today that for technical teams, any kind of team leadership needs to understand the work, which today increasingly is DevOps oriented. And so we were worried that organizations would start just putting DevOps people in charge of teams and kind of forget about Agile. And that was part of the thinking when we launched Agile 2, was to try to bring them back together. But in figuring that out, we had to ask the question, what's Agile? And I'll get to what my wish is in a moment. Just bear with me for a second. You'll see where this is going. So what's Agile? And you get markedly different answers about what Agile is depending on who you talk to. And, for example, there's an experienced Agile coach who I talk to regularly through LinkedIn and debate with. And he claims that, that DevOps is just a natural evolution of extreme programming. And I personally disagree with that. I see them as very different. But to him, it's a continuity. And really, we should see it in terms of a continuity. Even though they are very different, they are ends of a continuum. And, I think we really need to bring it back together. We need to break down these silos. We cannot have silos. We cannot have blinders about, oh, I work on the business things, or I work on the process things, or I work on the technical things. Agile is supposed to be about not handoffs. It's supposed to be about everybody collaborating and trying to figure out how can we create the best value delivery stream and the best customer-facing value stream. So to do that, you have to understand the whole flow. You cannot just understand your part of it. You don't have to be an expert in it. You don't have to be someone who could build something or who could design something, necessarily, but you have to understand the big picture of how it all works. Otherwise, you cannot be in discussions about the whole big picture and be able to provide guidance, to organizations about how to be agile holistically. You have to understand every aspect. And so my wish for this event, is that, there's 600 600 events. My wish is that people will leave their comfort zone and use this as an opportunity. What Scott and you, Grace, and Jorge and others have done in South Paul, you've done an amazing job putting together a fantastic event. It's staggering what you've done in this short period of time. This is a huge opportunity for people. Go out of your comfort zone. My wish is that people will leave their comfort zone. Don't attend events about things you already know about. Attend events about things you know nothing about. And if you're confused about something, take some notes and make a note to ask questions and try to find out a little more about that. I hope that people will go out of their comfort zone. That's my wish.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Everyone, round of applause.
Hey!
That was truly amazing. And Cliff and Scott and Carla are all at events. So if you look in the calendar, and there's a really good search function in the calendar, and you'll be able to find them. I think Scott's got an event in 2 days that Gail's been asking me to plug. So yeah, if you have a look for Scott's events, there's one on Tuesday, which I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy. Okay, just wanted to say a few words. On timing on this, we just weren't sure how it would work on Zoom or how it would go, and it took a lot longer to get people in. So I kind of padded out the beginning a little bit because, and I know some of you told me it would take you 15 minutes to get in, so I'm really sorry about that. So we kind of had a soft start a little bit later. We're running a little bit longer, but I think the content's pretty amazing, and I personally am not worried about the overrun. Yeah, so. Again, the breaks have maybe helped as well, just to re-energize you. But now I want to hand over to an absolutely amazing person. In fact, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to let Grace introduce her. I'm going to come off camera so we can see the amazing Shelby. Shelby and I are old friends. But Grace, introduce Shelby.
Thank you, Scott. Well, it's time to give out some thanks. And who better to do that than the beautiful, ever cheerful, rhythmic Shelby Wilson. Kindly join me in welcoming her to give a thanks.
Go Shelby! Go Shelby! Go Shelby! Go Shelby! Shelby!
Shelby! Go Shelby!
Very, thank you to the wonderful, gracious Grace. Thank you for so kindly introducing me. So, hi everyone, my name is Shelby. I'm from Cardiff, South Wales. I am a organisational lead and a trustee for the festival, and I am here to say thank you all, to everyone. Thank you to the patrons, the ambassadors, the speakers, the donators, which Brandon will talk about shortly afterwards. Thank you to Carl and Ash for spending hours building our website, all the hours that they put into it, and building such a great community for us all. And thank you to all my trustees who are now actually my family, and I'm so grateful to have you all in my life. And most importantly, thank you to you for spreading love and support all around. And then thank you to you all. There's never a truer saying. They said build it and they will come, and you have come. You've come in your masses. You've created events across the whole world, and without you, without all your events, and without everybody involved, none of this would be possible at this present time. So I'd like to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And I know everybody that's involved would also like to thank you. So please tap yourselves on the back and say thank you to yourselves. Thank you all.
Well done, everybody. Honestly, you know what they say. I don't think we could have done what we've done without passionate volunteers. Haroon's been up to midnight approving things, and Jerome, we've done policy on the hoof. Some of us have spent money to set the charity up. It's just been anything that needed done just got done. Someone has said to me, this is the first truly agile organization they've been in, and we used the circles to organize, and then people self-helped in the circles. And it's fascinating. Some people turned up to try and help, and they couldn't help because they couldn't work out how to engage because things were just happening. It's just like beavers building a dam. Things just happened, and that's all based on love and based on passion. It's just been amazing. Thank you very much. Sath, the amazing Sath. It's funny, some people think that Carl's the face of the festival. Some people think it's me, it's the face of the festival. Some people think it's Saf's the face of the festival. And some people think it's Youssef. And the beauty of it is the way we're all set up. We're all a team of leaders, and we're an ensemble piece. So think of us like there's no overall leader. We're just like a string quartet. So let's hand over to the, what should we call you? The viola, Sath.
I don't know what that means, Scott, but thank you very much. Well said, very true. An amazing self-organising team have built this festival. And as Shelby said, we're enjoying showing gratitude to all the various groups who have supported us. And another of those groups are our festival patrons. Amazing people industry leaders. They've all made huge contributions to Agile adoption across the last 20 years. They are our inspirations, and they have been very supportive and encouraging of all of us as trustees and all those who have helped to build this. And yeah, I've enjoyed working with them all. These are our 13 patrons. I'm just going to quickly introduce them in case you can't recognize them from the pictures. So just there where Scott's got the cursor, just below the word meet, we have
and if you're in
Dr.
the
Alistair
house,
Coburn. Oh.
Yeah, if you're in the house, you can unmute and shout hi.
Is Dr. Alistair Coburn, who is, of course, one of the original co-authors of the manifesto. April Jefferson, who is the founder of Women in Agile Open, based out in the US. Arie van Bennekom, based in Netherlands, who's another of the original 17 manifesto authors. Then we have Ashat Urazbayev, who is the founder of ScrumTech, based in Moscow in Russia. Following round there, we've got Ellen Grove, the interim MD of Agile Alliance. Following her, we have Esther Derby, who is, of course, one of the co-authors of Agile Retrospectives with Diane Larson.
No.
We then have, we then have...
Was that Mardi Gras Ellen, or was that Esther?
It was Esther.
Hi, Esther.
Hi.
Lovely to see you. And then we have Gabrielle Benefield, is the founder of Mobius Loop. We have Johanna Rothman, who is known as the Pragmatic Manager, and also written several books on teams and collaboration. Lisa Atkins, who's of course the author of Coaching Agile Teams, and has done huge amounts of work to help professionalize Agile coaching. We have Peter Merrill, who is the CEO of Xscale Alliance, based out of Australia. We have Roman Pitchler, who is a leader in Agile product management, and again has written countless books on the subject. Sally Alata, who is the CEO of Agility Health. I'm looking forward to hosting an event with her. And last but not least, Mr. Simon Wadley, who's of course the creator of Wadley Mapping and the founder of MapCamp. Now, as you might have remembered, we did a series of interviews with all of the patrons. If you missed any of those or you'd like to catch up with them, they're all available on our YouTube channel. And as an extension of this wonderful opening ceremony, tomorrow I will have the task of hosting all 13 of our patrons in a very unique event.
How are you going to manage
that?
So
if you're interested, no idea. We'll see how it goes. We're agile, right? We're agile. So so tomorrow we have that. It should be an amazing event, very thought-provoking and inspirational, and I'm really looking forward to it. And there's still some spaces. So if you'd like to join that event and hear from the patrons, do please sign up. You'll find it in the event program.
And I can ask them. I can ask them questions, Seth.
Of course, there'll be a Q&A. There'll be a Q&A.
Excellent. Love that.
Brilliant.
Absolutely love that.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thanks for all the work you've done on the festival. You've been tireless. Thank you. Okay, over to Brandon.
Hello,
Brandon's our
Brandon.
treasurer and a good friend of mine.
Yeah, I took on the job. They were looking for someone they could trust, so they found a South African who came to Scotland, and that was great. So I took on the role of treasurer, and I just wanted to share big thanks to people who donated. We raised nearly £2,000 without actually trying ridiculously hard. This wasn't about raising money because all of us volunteered our time. No one did any, no one got paid for their services. And I think that it was one of the principles of providing a free event and a free festival to all, which was something that I was entrusted to make sure that that sort of happened. And the money that was raised, which people might ask, what was it used for, was mainly for marketing to over 500,000 people, this event and the events that are happening this month. And basically people from all over the world got access to this event because of those donations. So a huge thanks to the incredible generosity of the community. Thank you.
And we're still taking donations?
Yeah, we're definitely taking donations. I think it's only going to increase the visibility of the events out there and get people encouraged to attend stuff that they haven't seen before. And
Brilliant.
access to
Thank you.
wonderful dudes. And
So
dudettes.
thanks to the donors. Well done. Woohoo.
Woohoo.
Excellent. Thank you, Brandon. Right. Should we dance again for a bit? Grace, what tune do you want?
Oh, you could play any bit and we flow. Anyone.
Right. Just to say that it's so important when we've got long Zoom calls and lots of meetings that we're going to do some energizing. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your back. Zoom calls can just sap all your energy, so it's really good to get out of that. Right, we're heading into the end, so not long now, and gonna slide share again. There must be a better way to slide share than all of this. So we're a little bit energized, which is good. And what Carl's going to do is just take us through what happened and take us through his notes. Carl and Sabrina are going to every day be putting something out in the festival, like a little. So in the Edinburgh Festival, you can go in the news, you can go in the podcasts and webs, and lots of people are doing lots of what they've learned or bits to camera and things. So they're going to do that. So I'm going to hand over to Carl, and then we're going to have a short piece of music, which is Celebrate. And then you've got the option to go, the option to stay. And if you stay at that point, we're going to split into Zoom rooms for about 20 minutes. The Zoom rooms are 4 people, so you'll get a chance to meet some other people from around the world. So again, listen to Carl. Then we'll hit the music. If you want to go, go. If you want to stay around and meet people, stay around. It's a little bit like the cup of tea after the church service. So, Carl, how was the opening ceremony for you?
It was fantastic. Can we do it again?
No, but you can watch it on YouTube.
Hi, everyone. Carl Smith. I'm involved in Agile transformation. I'm based just outside Edinburgh. And I've known Scott for a while, and it's my own fault. So I can't blame him for my current situation. I'll just have to thank him instead. So the ceremony was really, really interesting. And I actually come from a human-centered design background. And a lot of what we said today was about people. And I'm just going to name the people from the beginning again that we want to remember: Martin, Tamsin, Jean, Miguel, and David, because people are a great reservoir of knowledge. They give into our lives and we learn and we grow from it. and we build upon what they share, which is why we go to talks in the first place. We don't go there to parrot fashion what we learn. We go actually to extrapolate and to learn and to utilize. And I was looking at my Scrum Alliance points today, and I was thinking I'm going to get at least a couple of hundred this month in February, just listening to all the different talks and learning. No, it's hey, I'm volunteering. So
you get points for doing 6 months of archiving.
Yeah. Everyone sign up for Mimi to help her with that. You'll get loads of points for volunteering. So we learned a lot about goodwill and respect, and also being a safe space. I think that's one of the greatest things that's come out of this, is that. And my experience here is actually with the South American guys. Early on, I realized exactly what they were doing, which is they were setting up an organization to facilitate the whole of South America. And the old terrified Agile way is to stomp on that, but the new community way is to support it. And that's what we did. We supported it with every last fiber of our being, because we want there to be a wider community. We want to learn from each other. We want to understand how Agile is different in South America, how it's different in Africa, how it's different in Russia. The Agile has evolved and will continue to evolve, but will also have context. And I'm really excited about that.
That is important. Just to go in on that for a little bit. This festival's actually started meetups in Africa. It started meetups in Kazakhstan. It started meetups, and we're channeling people to help there. We're channeling. So the voluntary speakers is a good example. There's no way speakers would be talking in some of the places in Africa and Kazakhstan and everything else if we hadn't had set up the platform. And again, Carl, thank you for the platform. You've done an amazing job. As
I often say in the various chats, I'm just here to take the glory. It was actually Ash that did all the work, so that's fine. I'm fine with that. I think it's a coordination and understanding the value. I mean, I think when I clicked what this was about, this wasn't about Scott. This wasn't about me. This wasn't about any of the organizers. This was about us. This is about Agile being more than it has been. And I'm excited about that, because it's one of my favorite problems. It's not, and I think it was Padme said it. Do I live Agile or do I just talk Agile? Let's live Agile. I think that's a really good opportunity for us all. And I do need to visit South America, because it looks like a total party zone. And of course, I'm very shy and retiring normally. So I think, coming out the other end of the opening ceremony, we've only just begun, we've only just started. I'm really excited to see what we will all learn. Sabrina and I will do a kind of a daily roundup and post it on YouTube and on the various social media channels of what we learned. But we will be inviting speakers and participants as well. What did you learn? If you want to come on and rant about what you learned and how excited you are, or actually just tell us that this doesn't work, but I've got a better idea, we'll help you set up an event, and we'll take it to the next level. And that's really all I have to share, apart from to thank Hannibal Smith, Mr. Seivwright. I know he likes it when a plan comes together.